Hey there, fight fans. In this video, former UFC lightweight title contender Nate Diaz is up for $10 million if he decides to return to mixed martial arts. Also later on, a video is circulating on social media where Nick Diaz is sparring in the street. Has the Paulo Costa fight canceled due to him taking on Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi? We're going to find out what's going on. Also, Makhachev announced his readiness to fight against the UFC welterweight champ Leon Edwards on October 21st at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi.
Calma, tu é louca, tu é louca.
Many believe that if this fight does suddenly take place, it is not going to be the best fight for Makhachev. Many are sure that there is really no point in moving to another weight category, because in a higher weight, he would have a smaller advantage in weight and physicality over his opponent. This is going to be a very serious test for Makhachev. But we're going to kick things off in order. So as always, if you do like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, former UFC lightweight title contender Nate Diaz is up for $10 million if he decides to return to mixed martial arts. Or at least that's what his rival Jake Paul claims, with whom Diaz will face a professional boxing match in less than a month. For the clowns who say, "Why don't you fight Nate Diaz in a cage?" I suggested that to him from the very beginning, said Paul on social media. $10 million to fight me in the PFL after we have a boxing match on August 5th. The offer still stands, Nathan. Sure. At the beginning of this year, Jake Paul, who in a short amount of time became one of the most recognizable figures in boxing, signed a long-term agreement with the PFL, where he plans to make his debut in mixed martial arts in the so-called super fight division.
Sparring, and I know that's a handful, and I know that there is a narrative out there that Jake is going to beat him and that Jake is going to knock him out. Do you really believe that?
Video is currently circulating on social media where Nick Diaz is now sparring in the street. The 7th-ranked UFC middleweight Paulo Costa commented that he will not be fighting the Russian Ikram Aliskerov on July 29th at UFC 291 in Salt Lake City. Paulo Costa's fight has been canceled because he is fighting Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi. The Brazilian quoted a news insider as saying, "The guy is smart enough." Previously informed sources close to the Russian fighter's team reported that Costa was eliminated from the fight, and his place on the card could be taken by Georgian representative Roman Dolets, who is currently 9th in the UFC middleweight division. So it is pretty interesting that Aliskerov suffered the only defeat in professional MMA from Chimaev and early on in the first round. However, this did not prevent Khamzat from calling Ikram his most difficult opponent at the time. Paulo Costa has a history of engaging in a lot of behavior on multiple occasions. Following his defeat in a title fight against Israel Adesanya, Costa was known to withdraw from fights on 4 separate occasions, and has actually only stepped into the octagon twice within a span of 3 years. In 2021, the Brazilian declined to fight against Robert Whittaker, and then later backed out from a fight against formidable Jared Cannonier. In early 2023, he once again refused to face Whittaker, citing dissatisfaction with the contractual terms that were not to his liking. Currently, Paulo is reluctant to participate in another fight. And between all of these cancellations, Costa suffered a loss against Marvin Vettori, but managed to secure a victory over a seasoned veteran, Luke Rockhold. Now Costa is showing in every way possible on social media that he wants to fight Khamzat Chimaev in Abu Dhabi. But Chimaev apparently is preparing for the fight with Jared Cannonier, and that one makes absolute sense. A theoretical win against Cannonier will send Khamzat straight to a title race. And what would a fight with Costa give him? Well, really nothing. And it's not a fact that the Brazilian will again just not find another reason to withdraw from the fight and then spoiling the event. Makhachev also announced his readiness to fight against the welterweight title holder Leon Edwards on October 21st at UFC 294. Abu Dhabi, October 21st, Makhachev versus Edwards. What do you think? Makhachev wrote on social media, tagging the official UFC account. Now everyone already knows that Makhachev wants to become a 2-time UFC champ. He recently said that he would like to win the UFC welterweight title, saying, "This is my dream, and I am sure that I can become a champion in 2 different divisions," Makhachev stated in an interview on Daniel Cormier's YouTube channel. "I can beat Leon Edwards. He showed good defense against takedowns, but with me, it will be different. I can stand up with him. I can fight him. Wherever I can beat this guy. Just give me one chance, and that is it." Now, if the fight with Edwards does go ahead and Makhachev does win, he will become only the 5th fighter in UFC history to win 2 belts in 2 different weight categories. Conor McGregor was the first to set such an achievement. In 2016, the Irishman collected titles in the featherweight and lightweight divisions. After him, the double champ in the UFC was won by Daniel Cormier, Henry Cejudo, and Amanda Nunes. Now, many believe that if this fight suddenly does take place, then it will not be the best fight for Makhachev. They're saying that moving into a weight category is not a smarter move because it is a higher weight division, so therefore he is going to have a much smaller advantage in weight and physicality over his opponent. And don't underestimate Edwards. Kamaru Usman is an Olympic-level wrestler, and Leon beat him twice. He feels the distance and kicks, so this will be a serious test for Makhachev. But what do you guys think about all of this? Can Edwards beat Makhachev? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. So that is all for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because it is very important to us, and thank you all in advance.